Hi, I'm out here in northern Arizona today with my Polaris Xpedition ADV5 North Star, which you can see, I've already gotten into some mud, having some fun, and a beautiful trail heading that way. I'm heading to the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and that's my main goal for today. Hopefully it doesn't get too muddy where I get stuck out there because I have no way besides the winch that's on the vehicle from the factory. But so far it's been pretty nice. Northern Arizona this time of year is pretty good overall. And I have no complaints about the weather so far. It might rain a little bit, it might snow a little bit, but we'll just see here. But this trail is pretty neat. The interesting part, because I mean I've lived here my whole life, is how this trail has changed, because this is part of the Arizona Backcountry Discovery Route, which is a main route for motorcycles. In Arizona, you can do it on a side-by-side from start to finish because you can drive them on the highway. So it's been well traveled. I mean, this is a lot different than it used to be. It used to be just two single tracks out here. Now you kind of see it's kind of like a wide main, well traveled road. And originally it wasn't. It just kind of made you feel like you were in the outback of Australia for a minute. But things change over time. We're out here having fun. I'm going to see how muddy I can get this vehicle, and then I'm going to have a hell of a lot of fun washing it off. So I'm taking a break here for a second at the Moi Stage Station, which is just off of the BDR route, and it is on the way to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. We're doing pretty good, not a whole lot of mud, but it has been pretty dang muddy on the way. You can tell there's more mud on the left side, driver's side of the vehicle. Look at that. And then there would be on the other side. But weather's kind of looking like it's getting worse too, like it might be start raining here in a little while. But the stage station was the main stop between Flagstaff and the south rim of the Grand Canyon, as foretold on this plaque just behind me here. It's too bad there's no foundation left. That would be pretty cool, right? Get to see the old stage stop. But you know, it's a cool thing, the history. At least they have somewhere out here to show you, hey, this is where this part of the area was at, what was going on here back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So we'll get back on the road. You can see there's some snow along the road here. Went through a little patch just back there. So all good fun.
So I believe that the Polaris Xpedition is a wonderful off-road vehicle. And I did have a clutch kit put on this so that way it would bring down the RPMs. And that made a big difference. It dropped it down a lot. One thing though, after having this vehicle since September, I will say that the cab is not dust sealed. You know, and then when you look at the catalog and the way they market it, it's like having a sealed cab. It is sealed to the sense that, you know, rain really doesn't come in. You do get some water drops along the ceiling dripping in, and that is probably something that can be fixed. But as far as like dust coming in, like it says, keep the dust off your gear. The back part of the cab is really not sealed very well at all. I mean, there's places where you can go in there and you can see from the outside rear wheel well all the way into the back seat area of the cab. And I've sealed that up. And I say now that after I've gone through and sealed up a lot of areas where I see dust come through, the inside of the cab does work really well. And I really don't have any complaints about it. I think it does a great job. The heater and the air conditioner in this vehicle are phenomenal. I love it. It works great. It works just as good as a car. I drive this around like it's my daily driver because I live in Arizona. So I got really not a whole lot of complaints. My parents, their vehicle has had issues with oil leaks since the beginning, and I found out there's another guy that's had one too locally. So, you know, like people were saying, quality control could be an issue for Polaris right now, and I would say yeah, because there have been a numerous amount of things that are not quite what was described in the marketing of the vehicle. So take from that what you will. As far as power goes and the off-road capability, I mean, we just went through a ton of mud, like a lot of mud, and it made it through just fine. I was a little nervous because it's the first time I've done it with one of these side-by-sides, but it did an amazing job. And we took it out in the snow a couple weeks back, went up it while it was actually snowing, and it did phenomenal in the snow. And I'm going through patches of snow right now, as you can kind of see out the back and the side, that there's snow out here on the trail, and it does it just fine. Now, I did do a lot of stuff to this vehicle, and it's really well set up. You know, I have the spare tire on the top right now that my parents and I, we rotate, you know, when we leave the area from here home, because the Pro Armor tires have shown us that they get puncture wounds pretty easily, and I wouldn't go out without having a high volume air compressor, tire rope, tire plugs, or if you have a spare tire, that would be awesome. That's going to make a big ass difference. This trail coming up here to the Grand Canyon is a heck of a lot of fun, and it is a beautiful trail system. I love the scenery, and there's a lot of options. If you have a roof tent on this vehicle, there's a lot of options for you to be able to camp out here, and I would definitely do it. I'm planning on doing it here this spring or summer once it starts to warm up a little bit and the roads dry out. So I didn't know the road was going to be quite like this. You know, it started out really actually pretty good. A little bit muddy here and there, but it wasn't like what we just went through, and I would not advise doing that because it just rips the road apart. And in Arizona, the Forest Service really doesn't do a whole lot to maintain the roads, so why make it worse for yourself over time? now entering Grand Canyon National Park, and it is starting to rain on us. And there's the old station for the stagecoaches, the motor vehicles. This was the original route to get into the Grand Canyon. Now it's unguarded. You can get in here, and as you can tell, we're still in sight. I just made it here to Grandview Point, and it's raining out a little bit. It's starting to spit. An Arizona rain, I guess, is what we'll call it. But there's the vehicle. I'm gonna have to go to a car wash here. So, but still is beautiful. Tell it's snowing on the north rim. Anyway, beautiful. It's starting to sleet around here, but it's just beautiful.